Yes, it's time for another Tales from the Shed, but there is a problem. And the problem is, it's too nice out. So I don't know whether I should be shut up in a shed, really. The local sailing club are out. It's a Sunday, and this is my Sunday cabaret. Especially when it's super windy, watching them fall in. Always good for a laugh. So today I think I'll just sit on the balcony. Just before I go up there, this is a typical River Thames, Henley upon Thames boat, and it's called a slipper launch. So, Tales from the Shed, and not in the shed, and no tales, because I've had an interesting question. I did a show last night, and this morning I got a message to ask me, because I'm always on Twitter saying, oh, must go and pack the car and all that, what exactly happens to create the show? Well, the show is me, basically. Last night I was lucky. Debbie came on and assisted. So how does it all come about? Well, somebody somewhere gets in touch with an agent and says we're going to have a conference, for example, or a private party, and we'd like the international sex symbol and bodybuilder Paul Daniels. So the agent, if it's one of my regular people, they will come straight on to me and say, do I want to do it? Where it is, how many people, coming from Yorkshire of course, they get the standard answer, how much, I happen. And once all that's sorted out, and whether they're going to take me there or whether we drive ourselves, or aeroplanes, all that kind of thing, that's all decided, if I'm lucky, months in advance. If I'm not so lucky, sometimes it's a panic job. I think the best panic job I ever got was when Cunard came on. They'd had some bad acts apparently on the QE2, and they wanted me to go out as a hitman and keep the passengers happy. And I said, right, okay, I can do that. When? And they said, tomorrow. All right, I says, where's that then? And they said, Hawaii. The QE2 was in Hawaii. It used to be a big deal to go up the road to Redcar. Anyway, so this particular job, last night's gig, I knew about it a couple of months back, and it was all sorted out, and this particular job came through Les, and Les was going to go down roadie for me and sort it all out. The usual stuff. Unfortunately, Iceland decided to blow up, and the ash came down, and Les is still, as I speak, somewhere stuck in Barcelona. So Debbie and I loaded the car. Now what does that mean? I carry a wide range of smallish props, because my show relies on much more on me. Other shows rely on lighting effects and illusions and stuff. I carry an illusion, but the rest is all small stuff, and I rely on my interaction with the audience. So they're all in separate cases and things, so that there's nothing particularly heavy to lift, except the illusion, which in this case is a guillotine. Then that all gets loaded up, and also while I'm doing that, Debbie's doing the clothing, which means evening dress or two for Debbie, and for me nowadays I just wear a black suit and a black shirt and a fancy tie. Then we go out via Waitrose to pick up, because that's the nearest, lemons and oranges and eggs, polo mints, all the things I use that are disposables in the act, Kleenex tissues, and set the sat-nav and off we go. In this particular instance it's a big hall, I guess it seats about 4,000 people, and there were about 2,000 in. Wide range, this did surprise me, wide range of ages. In the front row, I know there was a 13-year-old there, and 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds, spotted some more of them further back, and that went right through to retired people. So also on the bill when I arrived was great comic called Adja Brown, and a really good singer called Lisa Kelsey. But the organisers had asked us to get there for 4 o'clock, which was a bit peculiar because we weren't on stage until 9. So we chat and have a sandwich, all the usual stuff backstage, and then when it gets about 8:30, I start to put my bit of the show together. We have already discussed the lighting with the lighting guys, discussed the sound with the sound guys. That particular show was all on backing tracks, so Lisa went off because I said, could you do an extra one, because the show was at suddenly you arrive and they want more time than you've got on your schedule. So Lisa did an extra song, and Adja did a bit extra, and I did extra time as well. So then by the time they've done the first half, they did from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock. By 10 o'clock my act is all set up. It's in the box. All the props are always in exactly the same place, because I've got to be able to just reach out and get hold of something without looking. Tommy Cooper, who everybody thought was kind of, you know, crazy guy and very ad-lib and all that, he had 2 paintings of his props, and I know because I owned them for a while, and he would give that to the stage manager and say, put them like that, and they would lay the props out according to the paintings of the props. Magicians have to be like that. It's a very logical process. And then at about, they had an interval, 20 past 10, I'm walking towards the sides of the stage, and about 25 past they start to play my music, and I walk on. In this vast arena they were still standing up, and that's your job then. You've got to turn that group of people into an audience and make them laugh. And then I was on stage till about 11:15, I think, and then we say good night, goodbye, and we pack up and hit the road. And we got back here 12:15, about 1:45 in the middle of the night, and Debbie straight to bed, because she has to do her radio show every Sunday morning. You should try to catch that on iPlayer. Really good she is. And so that's it. No stories this week, they're just facts. Alright, hope it wasn't too boring, and I'll see you next time. Who knows, it might rain, the ash might come tumbling down, and I'll be back in the shed. Bye.